That line right there might have effed everything up for Kay and Tay and their timeline. I just had a light bulb go off. Kay and Tay Dudley have captivated millions with their seemingly perfect relationship and engaging content. But what if the real story is far from what they've shared publicly? Hello everyone and welcome back to DeInfluenced. I'm your host Sasha, and my goal here is to reveal the truth behind today's popular social media influencers so that you guys can go and make informed decisions on where you choose to spend your social media currency. Today I have a bit of a big video for you. There's going to be a couple bombshells dropped in this video, and I have a accurate timeline of Kay and Tays relationship and all the nitty-gritty in-betweens, basically exposing all of the lies that they said on the Matt and Abby podcast and telling you guys the truth, because clearly they're not going to. Get ready guys, this one's a big one. Let's get into today's video. There are some big changes coming to my channel over the next couple months, and I'm hoping that come fall, once the kids are back in school and I have a little bit more time to dedicate to the channel, I can pump out some solid deep dives for you guys and shift things up a little bit. Most of the snark content or anything like that is going to go for members only. So if you like those type of videos, kind of just chilling, having fun, and chatting about the people that we're talking about, then that will be available to you guys there. And this platform is going to be focused on deep dive expose type documentaries. To start off a Kay and Tay video, we have to start with the backstory, right? Kaylee Dudley was born on January 28, 1992, to parents Michelle and Mike Turner. When Kaylee was younger, at some point in time, her parents ended up getting a divorce, and from what I've been able to crowdsource, from the information I've been able to gather, she lived primarily with her dad, and her relationship with her mother was absent. Guess it takes one to raise one, doesn't it? But ultimately, for Kay and Tay to go on a podcast and say that they were low income and that they came from nothing is false, from the information that I have been able to gather. She grew up in Oklahoma, in the same town where eventually she would meet Tay. Tay, however, grew up in Alabama and was born to parents Kimberly and Mitchell Dudley, who also later got divorced, and both of them got remarried. Again, doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a backstory to let you guys know that they said they were poor and came from nothing.
And not come from money, neither of us. So we've had to work extremely hard in our lives, you know, like
multiple jobs.
Yeah, and that's not true. That just because you didn't have $1 million inheritance, or because you couldn't go to school and be debt free or stuff like that, doesn't mean that you grew up poor or low class. Maybe you weren't as privileged as some people, but you guys were pretty darn privileged growing up. So gross. Just my opinion. But really, that's all I know about Tay's backstory. It is very interesting to me that him being such a prominent public figure, he doesn't have any more information on him available. Furthermore, when I was compiling research and evidence and stuff, I like to use AI and ask, you know, what do you know about them? What are the biggest controversies? And it's always interesting to me because sometimes when you ask, what do you know about this influencer? They're like, oh, there's no information. They're too small, like Drew and Kylie. They don't come up. But when you ask about Kay and Tay, it gives a summary of what's been going on. You know, who they are, they're prominent social media TikTokers. But when you go and ask it, okay, what controversies are they involved in? It comes up blank. There's nothing that pops up. So it's really interesting to me, the censorship and the filtering available. Maybe it's the management company. I don't know what's going on, but that was a really interesting side note to me. That's basically it for the backstories on them. Now, I want to get into the actual timeline of events. I want to cover what they state their relationship started as, how it's been, and I want to show you guys the evidence that proves that in fact was a lie. So let's go, guys. Okay, guys, sorry for jumping in all of a sudden with an outfit change, a hair change, the whole 9 yards. I filmed yesterday and, of course, would run into technical issues today. It was really weird. It like saved, but the video cut off, and then the audio, it's like all of the audio saved, but then it like sped up the audio to match where the video ended. I don't know. It was weird, but it basically cut off the most important part of this video, this part, which is the timeline and exposing all of their lies. And I was going to see if I can salvage it, and I said, nope, we're not even going to do that. We're going to fix it up a little bit so it's a little smoother. And yeah, because this is the important part. This is where I'm going to poke holes in their entire timeline. And I have a few pretty big bombshells to drop. Yeah, this is the part they don't want you to see. It really is. All right, so I am going to now present to you the timeline as Kay and Tays stated it. And then I'm also going to present the other side of the timeline where we go ahead and poke holes in every single thing that they say. First and foremost, the public facade that they have built. When they went on the Unplanned podcast, Tays stated that while he was deployed, which happened in January of 2014, he was cheated on and his wife fell pregnant. He stated that once he found out, he ended the relationship immediately. Matt asked him that. So when you found out, it was right away done.
When you found out, you knew the marriage was over.
Yeah.
And then he claims afterwards that he was distraught. Everybody was worried about him, worried about his mental health.
Remember those moments of them like pulling me in and being like, we know what happened. I wasn't allowed to be alone anymore. And I was in this weird daze for so long.
Because they were worried about you?
Well, because, you know, that's like that typical story, right? You get deployed, you're in a combat zone, and then something horrible happens back home, and then, you know.
And to this day, still insists that the child is not his. She states that her and her ex-husband had a toxic off relationship, and when they would fight, and she means fight.
We fought a lot, and when I say fight, I mean fight.
They met and married in 2010 and then welcomed their daughter, little Kay, in the fall of 2011. So everything moved really, really fast with this relationship. And what I've come to learn since filming the first couple docs and speaking to multiple people from their inner circle is that, yeah, the relationship wasn't perfect. It was super toxic. They were not compatible.
The marriage was not compatible.
So good job telling the truth there, Kay. However, they are adamant that her ex-husband is not abusive, not in the slightest. And that's not okay. To be a public figure and go on a public platform and drag other people through the mud to make yourself look like the victim, to garner sympathy from your following and from their Matt and Abby's following and everybody, and create rage towards these other people who are not on social media, who can't come on and defend themselves. It's not okay. So she stated that at 22, she became a single mom and was really, really scared about it, didn't know how to trust men again, and was all helpless and all this stuff, which we know is a lie. She then goes on to say that they got divorced. It was finalized in April of 2014, and her and Tay didn't meet until months later in November of 2014, where they didn't even get together right away. It was this on again, off again, push, pull, fight, don't want to do it, don't want to commit, like you, don't like it, right? For months. She says it was 3 to 4 months of this back and forth before they committed.
I would say like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Which brings us well into the beginning of 2015, right? So essentially, Kay and Tay went on this podcast and portrayed themselves as victims of their past who magically found each other, came together, and had this mutual understanding of the trauma, of the hurt, of being cheated on, and trust issues, and all this stuff. And the timeline that they presented to the general public, their public image, says that she was divorced in April of 2014. It was finalized, and that doesn't include the months of not being together, that he broke up with his wife. As soon as he found out she was pregnant, early 2014, he broke up with her, ended it, it was over. And when they met, sparks flew, and happily ever after, here we are a decade later. Now I want to present to you the cracks and the flaws in their story. Evidence that I have found that I can confidently say that they're lying, not to mention the multiple people that I have talked to over the past I don't know, whenever I posted the first video, and also fact checked and verified that they are close to the situation, you know, I do my stuff, who have also stated that they are the problem. They are the drama. They are the toxicity. Take that as you may. I'm not going to reveal my sources. I will never reveal my sources. They are safe with me until they say they're ready, because this isn't about you versus me. This isn't about me versus them. It's not about picking sides. It's about giving the whole backstory so that people can make their own informed decisions. I don't care if you like me at all, and I don't care if you like them. But are you okay supporting people who have domestic violence charges behind them, who have abandoned children, at least one abandoned child, who they don't support, or barely support, I should say? Are you okay with that? And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I think that once people find out that this perfect, happy TikTok couple has domestic violence charges against one of the parties, it kind of sullies the image. It kind of makes everything they say, you know, lies and fake. As I'm compiling my evidence based on when Tay's ex-wife had her son, and the whole timeline of events, her conception date is very, very close to him leaving and getting deployed. As you can see here, he was deployed on January 17th, 2014. And her son was born in November of 2014. Now, with a reverse due date calculator, and of course, I haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to her yet. She probably got berated after these a-holes went on this podcast and said what they said about her. And honestly, like, if you're watching or a friend of hers is watching, please let her know that I'm here to be a voice for her if she ever wants to, and just to reach out. And she can stay anonymous. She can write me a letter. It doesn't matter. I want to help where I can help. Regardless of if there's infidelity or anything like that, you didn't deserve to get dragged through the mud, and you didn't deserve to have your name and your story told to millions of people without your consent, because I know it was without your consent, and it's just not okay. So based on my calculations, due to, you know, doing the dirty, around January 20th to February 4th, I believe, and he left January 17th. Just a couple days off. And of course, when we do reverse due date calculators and stuff like that, it's not always super accurate, right? Sometimes babies was due earlier and she went late, which would push the timeline back even more. Again, I don't have this information because I haven't talked to her yet. But for now, there's sketchy stuff going on, and I'm telling you guys, you should not believe what these people have to say. You really shouldn't. So fast forward to June 2014, and here's the big bombshell, guys. I found this post. In June of 2014, there's a post, and I don't know, can't confirm that it's him. Sure as heck looks like him. I don't know who else it would be, but you know, maybe it's the person that she cheated on and the baby's died and blah, 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 blah. But she's talking about how the dog is distraught, how he is so happy that his dad's home and hasn't left his side. And it shows the picture of the man playing video games, which we know Tay did like to play video games, does like to play video games. I don't know. Does he still play video games? Who knows? And at this point in time, in June of 2014, she would have been about 20-ish weeks pregnant, give or take. Halfway through her pregnancy, she has a picture with Taylor Dudley. It doesn't look like a relationship on the rocks at this point now, does it? It looks like a chill picture of a dog cuddling with a guy who's missed his dad while he was deployed. They're clearly lying about something. I don't know how you could possibly go on being like, we totally believe them. And I also found this post that I wanted to read to you. And the post has a comment on it. And I think you'll find the commenter to be rather interesting. This is May 6, 2014. So about a month before they were pictured together with the dog. As I was getting ready this morning, I realized a lot about my life. I was thinking about everyone I have encountered in my lifetime, and only a couple of people stuck up. Blah, blah, blah. You especially. I know, without a doubt, you will always be here for me, literally no matter what happens. Thank you for that. You've been more than a mother-in-law to me. Who is she talking about? You have been a mom. I am beyond lucky to have you and C in my life. Thank you both for everything you have done and will do. You both took me in and treated me like your own and have never stopped. And I am forever grateful for that. I love you guys. And the comment from the mother-in-law, thanks, B. With all we've been through together and will go through, you'll always be one of the kids. I treat you the same as THE boys and always will. Are Taylor's brothers' initials H and E? Because if so, that's really cool. That's a cool, neat little thing. We love you and we know everything will be all right. God has a plan and you have to trust him. Also, just kind of a side note as I'm finalizing editing here, I find it really interesting that in that post, she hadn't changed her name yet. And this, again, is in May. And the moment he found out, he broke up with her and it blah, blah, blah. Well, if you're active on Facebook, I'm pretty confident that you would change your Facebook name as soon as your husband broke up with you. So just another observation to make note of. So I found that really interesting, that little testimony and that comment from Tay's mom in May. Either it's not Rocky yet. He hasn't broken up with her yet. Or maybe she just found out she was pregnant. Seems a little far along considering it was January, February that she would have fallen pregnant. So it seems a little far along, but maybe it happens. And then the next month they're pictured together. But Tay says as soon as he found out and as soon as he found out she cheated on him, well, it was the end of it.
When you found out, you knew the marriage was over.
Yeah.
So there's this other post from her, and this comes 2 years later, after Kay and Tay post this engagement picture, March 9th, 2016. And this was really, I don't know, just kind of heartbreaking to me because have a listen and let me know what you guys think. As I look back on my past and my life before, I would have done things differently. If I could still have the end of everything, of course. I would have loved a little harder. I wouldn't have gotten mad as easily about the dishes. I would have laughed more. You get where I'm going. You don't realize what you have at the moment, but one day you could wake up and boom, it's all gone. Forever. Riding down the road with the windows down, blaring the music that you didn't like, gone. Coming home to you playing video games, gone. Getting mad because you didn't do what you said you would, gone. I would have fought a little harder for you. I would have tried a little harder to change your mind. I wouldn't have shut down. I look at pictures and think back to those moments, the captured moments I have, and I think to myself, what was I thinking? What would I tell myself right now to do differently? But the thing is I can't tell myself to do anything differently. So the point is, it's okay to look back, but learn from it. Change from it. Embrace your past. Love your past, because without it, you wouldn't be who you are. I've grown so much and I've learned so much. When you lose everything you are and were in one text message, it's hard to move past it. He better not have broken up with her over text, ended his marriage over text. Because that's next level messed up. Unless she found a text from another woman? Question mark? I will forever be changed, but I'm here to say it does get better and easier. One day, things will fall back together. I am not sure when or how long it takes, but they will. I believe we are our own makers of happiness. If you're not going to make yourself happy, who will? Take a step back in every situation and think to yourself, what if this is our last fight? What if this is our last goodbye? Would you react the same? I know I wouldn't. I am living proof that everything happens for a reason. I mean, I have the most perfect son in the world, and I wouldn't trade it for 1 second to go back. But when all is said and done, wouldn't you want to be able to say you tried everything, that you didn't give up? That post it broke my heart. And she alludes to a text message, and who knows what that text message is about. It could be about finding a text from another woman, right? But it could also be a text that he broke up with her. Could you imagine? Better not have. Because what, Anyway, that's what I found from Tay's ex-wife. I truly hope that she will reach out to me one day and we get to hear her side of the story, because again, it's not fair that she does not have a platform to defend herself on. If she wants to, that is, right? She might just be like, whatever, say what you want. I know my truth and I'm good with it. And if that's the case, girl, like, baller, good for you. But if you do want a safe space to say your piece, I'm here for you. So Kay says, again, we went through it. Awful toxic relationship, alluded to her ex-husband being abusive and all that stuff. But I want you guys to take a step back and question, if he really was toxic and abusive, would he have full custodialship of their daughter? Would he be the primary custodian? That doesn't happen very often. Most times, regardless of even how the mother is, that doesn't happen. Which leads me to believe that it was her choice to leave her daughter with him, because she wanted to go out and live out her young party years, which is exactly why babies should not have babies. Their entire relationship moved so fast, it wouldn't even surprise me if she baby trapped him or tried to. It wouldn't surprise me, allegedly. And given what my inside sources have told me about her behaviors, about her past, because you know, Kay, when you grow up in a small town, word travels fast, especially if you're a POS human being. What, did you think people weren't going to come out of the woodworks and start talking and telling the truth about you? About how you're not all cute and innocent? About how you crashed a car into the side of a hospital? Yeah, didn't expect me to find that out, did you? But here's proof, guys. Not gonna lie to you. Why would I lie to you? She left her daughter to go live out some party years and didn't make very good decisions. Now, we've already been through the court filings and gone through the fact that she was not a good mom to her, and remains not a good mom to her first daughter. So I won't go too much into detail with that. If you want, here's the link for that, and you guys can go ahead and check it out. So yeah, who crashes their car into the side of a hospital? And how does that even happen? Like, I don't understand what reality has to occur for that to happen unless you're intoxicated. That's the only explanation that I can possibly think of. Or like fell asleep at the wheel. What were you doing that you actually crashed a car into the side of the hospital? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. And then completely tried to scrub that from the internet. I did, didn't you? So we kind of covered them throwing their exes under the bus, how they're POSs and their exes are actually probably really good people. I know that Kay's ex-husband is a really, really good dad to their daughter, that he has his kids' best interests in mind, which is why their daughter's not allowed to be displayed on social media. I can almost guarantee that if Kay and Tay got sole custody or primary custody of her and took away his custody, their older daughter would be exploited online, like to no end. All of her dance, all of her everything would just be full on exploited online, and it would be disgusting. So thank goodness her dad is there to be like, no, you're not exploiting my daughter online. You're not allowed to make money off of my daughter. So brava to you. Let's go back to Kay saying this.
Our divorce was finalized in April, and we met in November.
The divorce was finalized in April 2014. No, it wasn't. And then Tay saying, oh yeah, and that doesn't even count them having been separated for so long. Which, like, fair, true. But no, it wasn't. And they didn't meet.
And we met in November.
Until November of 2014. Now, something that I picked up on that I didn't originally pick up on, in the Unplanned podcast, Kay goes, oh, I'll never forget this.
Not trying to cause any waves or drama, but once it was like official, I posted a Man Crush Monday, and like I just remember her commenting on my Instagram post and tagging her in it. And she was like, isn't this your man? And mind you, she was like 9 months pregnant at the time with somebody else's child.
She was 9 months pregnant. If we look at the timeline, she was 9 months pregnant in October, beginning of November of 2014. But you and Tay didn't start dating until months after you guys met.
And we met in November.
So why are you posting pictures of him on your Instagram? if you're not even together yet. And also this picture of New Year's 2014. Well, that's only a month later, a month after you met, not months and months of on again, off again, on again, off again. Now here's the big thing, guys. Taylor didn't even file for divorce until January of 2015. Here you go. Here's the public record of that. He didn't even file. And they have pictures together December 2014, November 2014. And when she posted this Man Crush Monday picture, which I don't think I have access to anymore because obviously she scrubbed it from her record book, right? If we go back, the fact that he was pictured with his ex-wife in June of 2014, but he says that it was over the moment he found out she was pregnant.
You found out you knew the marriage was over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, in June of 2014, he knew that she was pregnant. Maybe he just came over to see the dog. I don't know. Who knows? Why is he sitting there playing video games then? Why would she take a picture and post it to her Facebook being like, my dog missed him so much. Our dog missed him so, whatever. That doesn't make sense. If it was such a toxic relationship, they wouldn't be together months after her infidelity. I'm sorry. You just wouldn't. You would go and get the dog and take it for a drive, take it for a walk, go snuggle it somewhere else. If you were so hard up and couldn't even stand to look at her, couldn't stand to be with her. Doesn't that make you lean more towards the fact that this is his kid? And that text message was probably her catching him cheating? And she decided to give up, which is what she's talking about in that long message. Instead of fighting, she decided to give him up. I don't know what happened. This is all speculation based on the hard evidence that we've been able to compile. But they have scrubbed the internet of their early years because they know they're lying. And that's really sketchy and gross to do. You are trying to control the narrative of your image so that you remain this spotless, perfect couple on the internet. But it doesn't work that way. When you hurt other people, when you drag other people's names through the mud, they get angry and they find a way to speak out. And guys, I'm telling you, when the truth about them is revealed and actually fully revealed, you're going to be disgusted. Not to mention this, that pokes flaws in this is a side note because I forgot to say this earlier. But here you go. Look at this. Met in 2014, started dating in 2014, but I thought you guys were together for months and months before we started dating. Blah, 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 blah. Come on, guys. Think critically before you aimlessly believe influencers, especially ones that portray this perfect image. This, you're going to be jealous of my husband image, or you're jealous of my wife image. People who do that stuff, they're not real. It's not real life. And it never will be real life. But that's what I got for you for the timeline. If I miss anything, I'll pop it in post-edit. But yeah, they're lying. They're lying about everything, except for the fact that her and her ex were not compatible. One truth amongst the sea of lies. Good job, I guess. I don't know. But let's get back to the OG video. Regardless of what's going on, something is sketchy and they're lying about one thing, multiple things. Who even knows? But they're not a perfect power couple. They're not as happy as they portray themselves to be. They lied about the timeline that they got together, the timeline of divorces they've lied about. He was still married when they posted that first picture together on Instagram for New Year's. He was still technically married. And the fact that he says that as soon as he found out that she cheated on him, he left her. And then we saw that one weird picture that feels like she left us a little breadcrumb to be like, hey, not everything is quite what it seems on camera. I don't think it's okay for people with a large platform to go and drag anyone under the bus. One. But two, they shouldn't have spoken on it, period. It's not their story to tell. It's theirs and theirs. They had no right to say any of the stuff that they said. Maybe that, yeah, we got divorced. Yeah, it wasn't a good relationship. It wasn't compatible, period. Bringing all the other stuff up, I guarantee was calculated to make people not question them, to make themselves look like the victims here when they're not. They are the toxic people, not their exes. They are the bullies and the cheaters and the mean and manipulative ones, not their exes. Kay's ex-husband does not have domestic violence charges against him. So who do you choose to believe? Who are you going to choose to believe? These people who clearly are lying through their teeth. So how can you believe a single word out of their mouth? Or actual people who are being hurt, whose reputation is being dragged through the mud when they've done nothing of the sorts? Again, I'll circle back, not saying either of them are perfect. Not saying they didn't make mistakes in their marriage too. It takes two to tango. But the defamation, man, it's insane to me when you have charges for driving your car into the side of a hospital. Good job, girl. How do you drive your car into the side of a hospital? I don't understand. There's no rationale behind it. You tried to rationalize your husband not being domestically violent with you by telling us he was domestically violent with you. But anyway, doesn't matter. That whole story is, we'll link it here because that's weird as well. I'm so disgusted at these two and the fact that they have 10 million followers who just think they're the best, cutest little couple on the planet, and he's so great and he's such a loving husband and he's so great to have taken on her second daughter and he's so great to this and she's so awesome and all this stuff. When you know the truth, the whole facade is going to crumble. Because honestly, these two are awful. And they do not deserve your social media currency. Not in the slightest. They don't deserve to have trips paid for them and luxurious lifestyles laid out on a frickin' silver platter for them. They don't deserve that at all. I'm angry that people can actually pull this crap off. And when you go and you're like, hey, here's all the evidence, they're POSs, nobody believes you. I mean, I know no fans are going to have made it to the end of this video. They're going to watch the first 5 seconds and be like, you're a bully, or not watch it at all and just be like, you're a bully, whatever. After hearing everything you've heard, and maybe go take a look at my other ones. Sure, you don't like the snark, that's fine. But I provide receipts and evidence and proof that these people are lying. You got to ask yourself at a certain point, why am I so hard up defending these people? Why am I so affected by this person exposing the lies, by this person telling the truth behind these people? Why am I so personally offended by this? You have to check your parasocial relationship, guys. It's not healthy. You shouldn't be so hard up to defend people when it's thrown in your face that they're not good people, and try and sit there and defend them and say they are. They're not. And you look silly and uneducated. I don't know. I think I included everything I wanted to include in this video. I wanted to basically say that, hey, this is what they said, and it's actually the complete opposite, because it is. You guys can believe me if you want to believe me or not. I have fact-checked and background checked the sources that have reached out to me, all of them. I have FaceTimed with them, so I know that they're legit, real people. So you can believe what they have to say, you can believe what I have to say, but believe the evidence, believe the timeline that's laid out in front of our eyes with public record court documents. That is the stuff that you need to believe. It's insane to me. Because yeah, ultimately though, guys, I do this to present to you the hard evidence, the facts, and to allow you guys to make informed decisions on where you choose to spend your social media currency. At the end of the day, it doesn't affect my life at all. Go follow them if you want to follow them. Don't follow them if you don't want to follow them. But I think that people on the internet have a right to know the truth about the social media influencers that they are following, and that they lie. A lot of them lie. That's what I do here. I don't follow these people. I don't have some personal vendetta against them. Nothing like that. I am here so that you guys can make your own decisions. And if you decide to continue to support these people and follow these people after you learn all the evidence, then that's on you. That's your decision. I guess you're okay supporting these kinds of people. Frankly, I think it really speaks to your own character if you choose to do so, or if you choose to not see a problem in ableist or racist behaviors, that speaks to your character, not mine. I don't care. I'm here to give you guys the facts so that you can make your decisions yourself. That's it. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to inform you. So, yeah, I don't know how to close videos anymore. I don't know how to end this. It's really awkward, like being like, yeah, so yeah, so yeah, so yeah. I hope you guys found this video informative. I mean, I found a couple things that blew my mind and picked up on a couple things that blew my mind as well. Like her saying she was 9 months pregnant with someone else's man, but you met in November, but you didn't start dating, so why would you have anyway, doesn't matter. It's obvious they're lying about something. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section. Did you know about this? Are you shocked about it? And I guess we could say, have you been de-influenced from them? Because like, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They're so yucky and they're so cringy and fake and just awful human beings that it's like, ugh, such a blech taste in my mouth. And he's creepy. The freaking smiling in that dumb picture, the mugshot picture is the creep for domestic violence charges, is the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I will never let that go. That is creepy. Taylor, that you smiled for that picture. And weird. And Akko Taco, I guess. But I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. It helps boost my videos into the algorithm and gets this in front of more eyeballs. And I really appreciate it at the end of the day. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.